So a lot of viewers on this channel have been sending in comments asking why the price of VET seems to be so stagnant and moving so slowly in comparison to many other cryptos, and so I wanted to make this video to share my thoughts on the subject. And the first thing which I want to note is that from the low point of the last 12 months to the current price level, VET has increased in value by more than 2,000%, a gain of over 20 to 1 in value in less than a year, and that is not slow. When we consider that the average annual gain in the stock market is around 9%, it would take around 35 years worth of gain to generate a 2,000% return in the stock market. And so right off the bat I just want to say that VET has not been rising slowly at all. In fact, other than certain other cryptos, I can't think of any other asset class which has performed so well over the last year. Now I do understand that VET has been moving quite slowly over the last few weeks. It really does not mean anything important. We have to remember that cryptocurrencies, including VET, do not move in a completely uniform manner. They move up and down and sometimes in a flat line for periods of time. And so in the short term, when we are very close to the long-term chart, that we are looking at the last month or the last few weeks, anybody would be forgiven for thinking that VET has performed poorly in terms of price increases, relative to many other cryptos. But when we look at the chart over the last year, then actually VET has performed fairly well and better than most cryptos in fact. And before we get any further, if you've enjoyed the video up to this point, I want to make an appeal to you to do me a favor and subscribe to our channel, so that we can continue to grow and I can spend more time researching and making videos. Anyway, the second point which I'd like to discuss is that there will always be other cryptocurrencies or other entire asset classes which are outperforming you on a month-to-month or even week-to-week basis. But again, that doesn't mean anything. Crypto is too volatile for there to be any short-term indication of a long-term trend. And what this means is that if we take any historic period of a month or even 3 months in VET or any other crypto, the price movement then would not be representative of the long-term trend. If we were to go back to 2017 and take a snapshot of the 4-week period of the market after the price had topped, we would see declines of 70 or 80% in market value. But that doesn't mean that declines of 70 or 80% will occur every 4 weeks. And if we were to look at the bull run before that happened, we would have seen gains of 400 or 500%. But again, that doesn't mean that this short-term trend is even remotely equivalent to the average long-term trend. And it is in fact the long-term trend which we should be focusing on. Every investor is naturally entitled to their own opinion and to make their own decisions. And that means that if they want, they can spend their time chasing the cryptos which happen to be booming at any particular time. And they may even do well for a short period of time. But many of the cryptos which are booming have no real value proposition and are only increasing in market value because of speculation. And eventually with these types of projects, when the rapid gains inevitably dry out, people will begin to take profit and what went up will come down just as fast. And by the way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest into these types of cryptos. The decision is completely yours. But I will share my thought on the subject, and that is, to me, it's much safer and better in the long run to stick with a project which has actual adoption and a real value proposition than to be stuck holding a worthless crypto which falls by 80% and then leaves me with a permanent loss. But that's just my opinion, and as a final point I want to say that in the world of investment, value for money isn't determined just by potential reward, it also needs to be balanced by risk. And just like when a person is betting on a horse race, it isn't always or even usually the best risk-adjusted strategy to go for the horse with the highest odds, because they also have the highest risk of failure. And for me, I'd rather have a project which I think is safe and offers a very good return, than an asset with a very high chance of failure that could offer an incredible gain if it goes well. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed and would like to see more content like this, remember to subscribe to our channel. Also remember that I'm sharing my own thoughts and opinions, and so this video is not financial advice. Thank you all for watching.